We go. Hey, enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 629.
Sexiest podcast on the network.
Yep.
Like we do.
Yeah. Fresh off of a Monday off, getting to watch some Feetsball, even though, as we were talking beforehand, it's like I'm not sure I really wanted to watch what I watched last night.
Yeah, fair enough.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That they had two Monday night games, and one was on at 7 and one was on at 8.
yeah, it's lame. That's what that
in
is.
In the past, they've done it to where one was on at like 7 and one was on at like 10.
Yeah.
And I know for you that was always a bummer.
Still lame.
Yeah. But for me, I was like, this is awesome because, the late game was always like the Raiders and Chargers or something
some
like that.
West Coast bullshit.
Yeah. And I was like, cool, whatever. I get to watch two football games tonight. But last night, I started off watching the Carolina New Orleans game. And oh my God, was that a snooze fest in the beginning? So I was, when the Browns Steelers started, I'm like, well, I'm going to watch this for sure instead. And it wasn't much more exciting, but it was definitely better than the other one for a while.
Right.
Like I said, till Nick Chubb got his leg
Whoops-a-doozied.
destroyed. Yeah. It's like, oof. It's weird, like it's crazy how, in this offseason, basically running backs were told you're worthless. Like countless running backs were like, hey, I'd like a new contract or blah, blah, blah. And teams were basically like, yeah, no. And yet a couple weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers blows his ankle out or his Achilles out. And everybody was like, well, there goes the Jets season. Right. And you're like, well, that's why quarterbacks are paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Right. Last night when Nick Chubb's knee got destroyed, I felt so many people that were Browns fans go, well, there goes the season.
Yeah, we're officially fucked.
And you've still got, and because their offense really does, no pun intended, run through him,
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's just like, yeah, now tell me about how, how worthless running backs are, like I was telling you about his numbers. It's like you can't probably produce or replace him easily. They may luck into one if Kareem Hunt, because Kareem Hunt, I think, ran for over 1,000 yards last year in their offense. So if they can bring him in, they might have a shot at that. But he's not the same kind of runner as Chubb,
right.
So
do you think Nick Chubb has a fan group and they're called Chubbies?
Oh, I hope there's something like that.
I hope there is too.
Half Chubbs are the kids ones. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, probably not. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
I mean, it would be funny.
Yeah. But man, poor dude. Hope I haven't read any update on him yet, but it's like I hope it's not the worst scenario, which is like total knee dislocation and blowing all the ligaments and all that. It's like I'm hoping it's something much milder than that, but
like Turkish taffy knee.
That's what it looked like, dude. I mean, his knee was bent the wrong way. It was bent backwards, and it's like, yeah, knees aren't supposed to do that.
No,
so
not unless you're one of those like small walkers that Ewoks fucked up and then
yeah,
the ATSTs or whatever.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it was that was no good. I do not recommend watching the replay if people haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, just accept that his knee was turned badly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like if they were in Pittsburgh, if they had been in Cleveland, you would have just heard the place deflate, like like I was telling you, even in Pittsburgh, the crowd was like, oh, when they saw the replay.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
that is a bummer. Well, I mean, as much as that's a big rivalry, I'm sure people don't want to see something that bad happen.
Yeah, right. Like, guys go out of the game with injuries. I mean, that's part of the game, but you don't want anybody to miss.
Yeah.
Like he's going to probably miss the rest of the season at least.
Oh, guaranteed.
And who knows from that point what it'll be. Like I said, I haven't read anything that said definitively I just checked ESPN before we started and I didn't see anything. So I knew they said last night they were checking him to make sure he didn't have any blood clots or any issues like that. And then this morning they were supposed to do more tests. So
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So that's why I said it's like the only silver lining is that Kareem Hunt is sitting out there and he was in that offense last year and a very productive in that offense last year. It's not just like, well, let's bring in a running back because we got to fill a hole.
Do you think Kareem Hunt has a fan club and they're called Kareemies?
Well, he played for Toledo, so I mean, some of them would be around here. Yeah. I'm guessing they probably play more off of his last name, but I like yours better.
Right? I'm worried going to be called like Hunters or something lame.
Yeah.
Huntsman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hunt's Ketchup.
No. Oh, that would be good. Actually, that would be good in the rivalry.
That would be.
Because Heinz is, field for Pittsburgh.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Kareemies or nothing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Kareemies.
I'm just saying.
Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm glad we took yesterday off because, my new gig at work, Monday is data entry day, basically. And since I'm still not great at it, at all the stuff I got to do, it takes me a while. And, man, all day I just stared at a computer.
Right.
And it's funny because I was like, man, lunch came around. I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of sitting here typing all this shit up. Let me go eat some lunch. And then I'm just staring at my phone.
Yeah, of course. Right?
It's like, well, fuck me. What am I doing? So I got home. We didn't have it. I didn't watch TV. It took a while before I put the TV on.
Yeah.
I was like, I need not screen time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sucked, man.
Yeah, that's a good call for sure.
Oh my God.
It just fatigues your eyes and just drains you.
Yeah, you remember Nintendo Eye?
Yep.
I was plagued with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was bad.
Well, let me give you a couple tips. One, if you're not playing Nintendo games, you might get the work done quicker.
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Also, just staring at the screen does not enter the data. You kind of have to type it in.
But what if I think real hard?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's
pretty stupid you have to do that. Like, what? We don't have some sort of a scanning device on our phone that can just enter everything? Like, come on.
Honestly, because the way my work, they opened in like the 70s.
Yeah.
And the thing that sucks is they have software that was introduced in the 80s that they still use.
Yeah.
Right? And they're trying to like tie it together with more modern software, which is Windows-based now.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I haven't had a Windows computer for a while, so I'm relearning Windows and the shortcuts again.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing that makes it hard. It's like, oh, well, you got to do this. Okay, well, I got to open up this program and check these numbers. And I got to open up this old-ass software and use these antiquated, like, shortcuts that you have to just learn because it doesn't tell you what they are.
Okay.
To pull up other stuff.
Those are the best.
Oh, God.
I'm sure it's like you can't really just jump on the internet and find a list of those
shortcuts. Oh, God, no. You just have to, know them.
Yeah.
It's insane. And it's like...
It's passed along from one person to the next.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, boy, it'd be really great if they updated all our software right now so everybody could learn it together with me. But it'll be as soon as I learn the old stuff, they'll be like, hey, guys, we're revamping the system.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like we're rocketing right into 1984.
All I do know, Brian, is it's sitting at a desk and clacking on a keyboard in an office is way better than running around, slinging 10,000 pounds of glass at a time. Big fan.
Oh, boy.
Oh, do you lock up? Did I lose you?
Yeah, we're back, though.
Ah, shit. All right. I don't know what you heard, but
it's better than slinging 10,000 and then
10,000 pounds of glass, baby. Way better.
Yeah. So. But now how are you going to get your gains?
I got it. Like last week, I woke up and I did a little kettlebelling in the morning. It's been a while, and I felt it. I was like, limping around all week,
Yeah.
I legitimately thought about doing like a Planet Fitness membership because they open stupid early, and it's 2 minutes from my house. I was like, oh, but now I'm starting to kind of sleep in a little. I'm not getting up at 4 something. I'm actually like, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, Brian. I got to do something though, because I'm used to walking like 7-8 miles a day, and now I'm not.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, it's like I even learned that like I don't know if you went through this too. Like when you quit the video store. Well, no, because when you quit Family Video, it wasn't too long. You went to Metzger's, I think, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like for me, when I quit the video store, we opened our shop, and that just wasn't the same level of walking around. And, even though I'm not lifting anything real heavy, I'm still carrying, 20 movies at a time, putting them away, and then you go get more. And, it's a constant movement, basically.
Yeah.
Then we opened our shop, and it was like, yeah, I'm standing in one place a lot, So I for sure put some LBs on after that because, you're just not burning the same level of calories.
For sure. Yeah. I'm going to have to figure something out, or I'm going to turn into Mike Wazowski, We don't need that.
That's true. We can't have two of those in our dynamic. You're supposed to be Sully in this situation.
So yeah, but yeah, it's been all right. I'm just glad that oh god, Mondays suck. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to do Tuesdays until I get way better, and maybe Tuesdays will just work out better anyway.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you last night, I was like, that's all right because it gives us, we can both watch football if we want, or I can watch Raw or whatever. So there's, that.
There is Benny's to it.
Yeah. And Raw I watch later anyway, so it's no big deal. But but it's cool to watch. I mean, I do have the ability to watch the replay of the game, but it's like it'll be my luck. I'll find the score on accident,
of course,
and then I won't care anymore. So
yeah, of course. Yeah. The only thing I miss about having a DVR, was I used to just like start watching football about an hour after it started and just fast forward through all the dumb shit.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, I've done it with a couple of games. Was it last week's Thursday night game? I wasn't home. I had the ability to watch it on Amazon, but I wasn't home, so I didn't get to watch it. And then later, I saw it was on Hulu, because Hulu has the NFL Network when you have the live package. So they had it to where you could watch it, and they cut out a lot of the boring stuff. So I was like, oh, cool. It's like an hour and a half to watch the whole game.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
No. So I was like, I'm going to watch this. And
it's amazing how quickly you can watch a game when you can cut through the bullshit.
Yeah. I used to watch baseball games a lot like that. Because if you the game will be on at like 7:00, but then like at 2 a.m, they'll do the replay and they do the same thing. Like if nothing happens during the inning, a lot of time they'll just cut that inning out. And whatever, or they'll cut like the away team's innings out if nothing happens.
Yeah, because fuck them guys.
Yeah, you're just watching the team. Like for me, I'm watching Cleveland, so or Detroit, because those are the options. But Cincinnati too. I forgot they do play Cincinnati also. We get all the Ohio and Detroit, but
naturally.
It is kind of nice because I love baseball and all, but sometimes I don't feel like sitting for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so. I get that.
Although I will say they introduced a pitch clock this year.
I've heard about this. Yeah,
and when you watch the game, it definitely has a better pace to it now.
It still takes like 3
hours. Yeah, not a lot, but it does a little bit. And I actually watching Tigers the other night. I actually saw a pitch clock violation. And I was like, wow, because they've got, I forgot how much time it is, like 20 seconds or something like that.
They should give them like 10 seconds.
Shot clock.
Really speed it up.
But it's like the batter has to be in the box and the pitch has to be, thrown at a certain point. And it really does. You don't have the guys, they still step out and adjust their gloves and all that kind of shit. But it's not like it used to be to where they're stepping out after every pitch and blah, blah,
doing their little rituals.
It's cut a lot of that. Yeah, it's really cut a lot of that stuff down, which is nice, because it's like, this is all unnecessary shit. Like, you don't need all that, The guys played baseball before all of that garbage.
Wait, hold on.
You don't need to.
I gotta touch my nose, hit my cleats, adjust my bat, touch my balls, say a prayer,
adjust my batting gloves.
Point to sweet baby Jesus and get back into it.
Sure. Yeah. And by then the pitch is already thrown. Yeah. Oh, geez. Shit. Coach comes out and he's yelling at the guy, like, get in the damn box.
So you know what our one problem though is if we record on Tuesdays, which is going to derail something I told you we need to do, is if we record on Tuesdays, we can't go to do Ernest Brewworks and Taco Tuesday.
Oh,
So it
yeah,
means
that's true.
sometime we're going to have to record on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah,
did
you're right.
Taco Tuesday today, and I fell in love with the Golden Rooster all over again because it was so good. And I was just sitting there eating my beer of tacos going, God damn it, I got to get Brian to this place. Yeah.
Yeah. As you were just making out with their
Oh
sign.
my
Yeah.
gosh. And they're actually like, I went to pick up my tacos. They're actually busy today. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Like, I don't like
I mean, I
this.
do because I want them to stay in business, but at the same time, I kind of
Yeah.
liked it when it felt like my little secret. Yeah.
Right. Like, I just want you to be busy enough to stay
Yeah.
open.
Right.
Just, I'm going to be real
Oh
selfish
man,
about it.
dude, I'm telling you. So yeah, we'll have to plan for that. Taco
Yeah.
Tuesday, pick up tacos, head to Ernest, beer and tacos, go
Yeah.
home.
Yep. Profit.
No, we actually lose the
Yep.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
That's
what's going to
true. Right.
profit? Our souls.
But we'll gain
Yeah, that's
tacos,
what I'm saying.
though.
Our souls will profit. Our
Yeah.
spirits will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Tacos is good for the
Oh,
soul. That should be a shirt. Tacos are good for the soul.
somebody has to have a tacos are good for the soul. Here, I'm
I'm
going to look.
looking.
Okay. Then I won't look. Fine. I didn't want to look anyway.
Oh, well, it did come up. Oh
Yep.
yeah, it looks like it already exists.
Yeah.
Tacos are good for the soul, but I don't like the way it looks. It's like a hand with frickin' painted nails holding the taco. It's pretty lame.
Y-
Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I ran into that a while ago when I was wanting to do a "Don't Bread on Me" shirt for like keto
Yeah.
people, and I was like, okay, this probably exists, and I looked, and I'm like, it exists, but God, I hated like all the designs for it, and it was that, I was like, that's disappointing because, like I said, my thought was like, a loaf of bread cut up like the snake from the "Don't
Oh
Tread on
hell
Me"
yeah, I
thing.
get it.
And I didn't see anyone doing that, but it was, I should
You
have just
should have.
done it.
Fuck
But
everybody. That's what I say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Well, it's one of those things. It's like I don't think anyone actually owns the term,
right.
So everybody's making it. There's all sorts of Redbubble shirts
Of
of it and
course there
stuff,
is. Of course there is.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
So I got to ask you something.
Mm.
Have you been watching One Piece by chance?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to. I started watching something else on accident.
On accident?
And yeah. There's this show, Hulu keeps promoting it, and it's called The Other Black Girl. And they kept promoting it, and then finally I'm like, I'm gonna watch this, basically. Like, I'm gonna watch the first episode. And I got really hooked on it, so I was like, I have to watch all 10 episodes of this.
Fair enough.
So I just finished that, so I'll be starting it soon.
Well, the reason I ask is we started watching it. Have you watched the anime by chance? Okay,
no.
Same. Like I know it exists.
Yeah.
But I've never actually read a manga or watched the anime.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 episodes of the show. I'm not exaggerating for anyone. I know I tend to exaggerate stuff. Like, I'm not with this. There is like 1,000 episodes of it.
So I've heard good things about the Netflix show.
Yeah.
We started watching it, and it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it, but it's so strange to me because it's like it's just live action anime. Like, they yell out their finishing moves. There's all kinds of people with weird fucking powers.
Right.
I don't know if I want to spoil it, but there's a moment towards the end of episode 1 I almost died laughing because I wasn't expecting it. But if you're going to be watching it soon, I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you this, Brian, and anyone who's watched the show will know is waddle 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 waddle. That's what I'm going to give you. All right. So when that moment happens, I'll have you know I almost died. Yeah, just saying. But I mean, I think what are we 2 or 3 episodes in now? It is enjoyable. But I don't know if it's.
I've heard.
I don't know if I ever want to go watch the anime.
Right. I always wanted to, because I was constantly being told how good it was, but it's so daunting.
Right.
when you hear it has that many. I mean, you think about how long it takes. I'm, like for me, even when I like, power binge through a series, it still takes a few days to get through 10 episodes, right? Or whatever. And it's like, God, if I'm like, we're talking 1,000.
I mean,
like, I feel like I'll be watching it the rest of my life,
Yeah, I mean, is it seriously 1,000?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Hold on. Now I got to look at this.
But I know it's like the most prolific.
Oh my God, it has a 1,084.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Right. See what I mean? It's like, I don't know how long the average episode is. I don't know if it's a half hour, an hour. I hope it's not an hour. I'll probably never start it. Half an hour, maybe. But even then, dude, it took me forever to get through Clone Wars.
Right.
And I forgot how many, there's only like a couple hundred episodes of that. Or 150, or I don't remember what it is. It's nowhere near that amount.
I can't believe it's that many episodes. That's like shocking to me.
Yeah. It's like the show that never ends, basically.
Yeah, right? I'm trying to like find out how long each episode is because I'm just curious. I imagine it's probably a half-hour show, so probably 20 some minutes an episode.
Yeah. I'd love to hear 15 minutes, but
24 minutes.
Okay, so that's a half-hour normal TV episode. Okay.
Times 24. It's only going to take you 433 hours to watch it.
Okay, that's not bad.
Jesus Christ.
Now, so at that point, you picture it as though it was, if they were hour-long episodes, you would have to watch 433 episodes, right? You're just like,
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a show I've started that has anywhere near that many episodes. I mean, I guess unless you count The Simpsons.
So, Brian, if you were to start One Piece right now and just started binging, you would have to watch it for 18 days straight. That's madness, man.
It's a lot. Yeah. That's why I said it's like I've been told so many times that it's really good and the fan base is passionate about it, but it was just like, that's so much to watch. I just don't know if I can. The only way I could do it would be to start it, and I'll probably take a break and detour to something else for a while and then come back to it. And,
Right.
Because I've done that with a few shows. Like Adventure Time, I did that because, there's a lot of episodes of Adventure Time, too. In Clone Wars, there was quite a few, so it's, it takes a little while to get through all of it.
We're on episode 629, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Because now I'm kind of like, well,
like it'd be like listening to our whole.
Oh my God, it's like I averaged our show at an hour and a half, and I know we've had some bangers that were way longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to listen to our show, in theory, it's going to take you 39 days, almost 40 days straight.
Take that One Piece.
Fuck off, One Piece. We're the true pirate kings, you bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, that's
why it makes me laugh every once in a while. I'll see somebody online that's like, what's an anime I need to watch, and they're like, and don't fucking say One Piece.
That's funny.
And I know that's the reason, is just there's so much of it. It just,
God damn, that's so long.
Yeah. The real question is, how many of those episodes are good?
Right.
Because like in a normal TV season, if there's, let's say 15 episodes, a good 3 to 5 of them are,
Well, and I know from that era of anime, because, I've watched Naruto.
Yeah.
That as you get towards the end of the season and there's like a climax happening, you have a couple episodes of just pure recap.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they're like facing off, and it's like, and then you shouldn't have done this. And it's like they go back to shit you've seen 8 times already because they've recapped it in other episodes.
Yep. It's just like comedies used to do clip shows on TV. Yep. Because the network is like, you got to do clip shows to, for whatever, because they're cheap. You don't have to shoot a whole new episode. Or if the budget gets short, you can do a clip show because it's a lot cheaper than doing a whole new episode.
Ironically, we don't make any money on the show, and it's cheaper for us to put out new content.
Yeah,
because it would cost us time to make a clip show.
That's very true. A lot of time and effort.
A lot of time and effort when we could just sit here and talk about One Piece and how long it is.
That's right.
All right, so now I got a question for you. All right, another one.
All right.
Say you're going to sit down, you're going to have this One Piece marathon.
Yeah.
Right. What's your food? 18 days of One Piece straight.
Yeah.
Straight One Piece. You can't even sleep. You're not allowed.
Right.
What's your food and drink plan for this?
I mean, I feel like it's just an IV, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
You just go IV and race catheter. That way you don't have to get up.
That's true. That's true.
Man, I don't know, because, you got to have some. You need some energy in there for sure. So you're probably going to have to be powering down some energy drinks or Mountain Dews.
Let's say once a season you can sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, just so you can actually sleep and not die from lack of sleep.
That seems fair. Yeah.
I mean,
for like an hour.
Yeah. For an hour.
Yeah, you just take a quick nap.
Yeah, nap time.
Just nap during the recap shows. That's what you're allowed to do.
Okay, wait. Actually, maybe I'm being too broad of like, what's your food and drink plan?
Yeah.
So so you're gonna get sponsored by somebody.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
So who is your sponsor?
Oh, okay.
Food and drink.
Now, see,
food and drink.
If this is Cowboy Bebop, it's much easier because it would be some sort of noodle product, since Spike loves noodles.
Fair enough. Send nudes.
Yep. But I man, on this one, I don't know, because it's a lot. And I don't know anything about the show, so I don't know if there's any like relevant.
I'm just talking about what you want. Who gives a shit about the show?
I mean, for me, obviously, I'd probably love to have, as much as I want to say a pizza sponsorship. It's like I'd probably rather almost have a taco or a sandwich sponsorship, because I feel like pizza still kind of tastes like the same thing, even if you change the toppings a little bit.
I see that.
Whereas like a sandwich tastes very different based on the toppings. So I think probably some sandwich, like give me like a Jersey Mike's contract or something. I'll just be sucking down loaves of bread.
I mean,
day.
Jersey Mike's is a strong move. What about a beverage sponsor?
Well, I mean, just whatever it is they splash on the sandwich, right?
The juice or whatever they call it, the nectar.
Juice? Yeah, no. I mean, it can be beer, because I can't get drunk and black out or anything during. You could, I guess, yeah. Oh, man, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm going to need something to stay awake, so it's probably going to have to be, but it can't be like it can't be an energy drink, because I can't have my heart explode.
You will die.
Yeah.
They're going to call you a 3-piece, because that's what your heart's going to explode into.
All right. Man. I mean, I'd probably pick some sort of like a pop kind of situation, or what I might be an answer would be I can't remember the flavor of it. There's one of the like they make bubbly, the seltzer that has caffeine in it.
Oh, okay, like and
I can't remember which flavor it is. There's one that I really like.
Say bubbly, though, boobly.
Yeah, but maybe something like that. That way I can still get
stay
my caffeine,
hydrated.
And stay hydrated and not just be sucking down sugar the whole time with my giant carb loaded sandwich.
That's a solid move. That is a solid move.
Yeah, I think that's
all right. So I'm going. This might sound crazy to you, and I'm going to gain a shit.
Sriracha's your drink.
What did you say, sriracha?
Right. Sriracha, yeah.
I'm going to gain a shit ton of weight, but my food sponsor 100% KFC. Yeah, I get some mashed potatoes, get some corn. Right. All corn doesn't really work well for me.
Right, you drink the gravy.
I love the chicken, a little coleslaw. I can mix it up, right?
All right. Well, you can get sandwiches and wings and stuff too.
Yeah,
so
I can get nutty. I can make like my own mashed potato bowls and stuff like that.
Dude, it's just straight double downs.
Dude, I mean, I do like a double down. It's been a while since I had one.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking
18 days of double downs.
Oh
boy.
I'm thinking though, for my drink sponsor, I'm going Liquid Death. Right?
Okay.
Because water, I can, and then if I want, I can mix it in with a little booze. If I want to have a cocktail, I can throw some Mio in there. If I want some little flavor action, and
Yep.
they're
All
nutty
right,
enough
that
to
makes
sponsor
sense.
something crazy like this.
That's true. Yeah, they.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. They actually, I could see them trying to sponsor
right.
something like this.
I think that's my move though. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
All
was
right.
definitely going to be a chicken place, and I was originally thinking Frickers, but
Yeah.
Frickers sides are kind of lacking.
Except for that
Roll of
roll of
butter.
butter.
I mean, you know what?
I mean, dude, you just
Screw it. My food sponsors a roll of butter.
that's it.
Roll of
Just
butter.
rolls of butter.
Give me King's Hawaiian on the phone.
Oh well, they might be really expensive
That's
right
oh
now.
god. I forgot I told you that story. I might have told on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay.
No, you didn't. You told me. You told us
Okay.
at
Yeah.
your house.
I forgot about that.
I know. I really shouldn't do inside jokes,
That's
but
all
I
right.
couldn't
It's a
help
good one.
myself. Yeah. Can you imagine eating 18 days worth of Hawaiian rolls with butter? I mean, delicious,
Oh
but
my god.
oh my god, you'd be like
Yeah.
9
Exactly. I'll
pounds.
look like freaking. Exactly.
Jabba
I
the
was trying
Hutt.
to think of the character's name from the dad in El Dorado, the big giant king with his
Oh god, yeah,
sexy
yeah,
daughter.
yeah.
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, you look like he ate
For
Jabba
sure.
the Hutt.
It would be just disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, KFC's gonna do that
I mean,
anyway, so whatever. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool. I'll get you a salacious crumb to sit next to you.
I love it.
Yep. You got to figure out your own slave lay. I'm not trying to do that.
I already got the outfit picked out for you, man.
Fine. I'm eating
Hell yeah,
KFC
you
too,
are.
though.
I'll be throwing you popcorn chicken.
All right. Make sure the costume's adjustable then. I don't want to get circulation cut
We
off.
don't need that.
No. So for sure gonna have some use for the top during that, because you're for sure gonna come away with some titties.
Absolutely. Plus, think you got two
Yep.
bowls for mashed potatoes right there.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. You're right.
Like, is that titty armor or are those mashed potato bowls? Both.
Both.
Exactly.
Both. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. We don't do no singles task items around here.
No, that's right. Yeah. Delicious.
Oh man! So I actually finally kegged my shit over the weekend.
All right.
Let me tell you, Brian. When you're hooking up regulators and shit and you've never used them before and you're like, well, when I turn on this gas, either it's going to work out fine or something really exciting is going to happen.
Right.
I was thinking about that when I was hooking everything up. I'm like, I have no idea if this gas regulator is even like sound. I know, right? Man. So I was just like, well, here we go. Once again, touch my cleats, touch my ass, say hello to baby Jesus, let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, it ended up, it turned out pretty good, though. I mean, it doesn't taste like a lot, but, I mean, I got a glass right here, but it's almost empty. Throw a little Mio in there, because that's what I started looking on Reddit. I'm like, how do I flavor hard seltzer after it's already made? And basically everyone on Reddit's like, yeah, just... I make flavorless hard seltzer all the time. I just have mixers in my fridge, or I'm like, oh, yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's very low alcohol content, so it's kind of refreshing, Brian. It's exciting. I'm like every time I'm out there, I'm like, man, I can't believe I did this shit. Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Right. Yep. Same pride you had, like when you had kids.
But now I can consume these like that Greek dude.
I mean, you could anyway.
Jupiter eating his children.
Yeah, you just probably shouldn't consume your children, but you could.
Survival of the fittest,
you
though.
Could. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
I know, right?
Not much, right? So how long before you move to the brown ale?
I actually got sitting right over here. I got to look at the recipe, see how long the fermentation is, but I'm probably gonna start the batch soon, because I'm guessing it's probably about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month of fermentation. I don't know how long it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And
right.
So this stuff's so low ABV that I just been crushed.
Drinking it like water. Yeah.
I don't know what the nutritional facts are on it. Who knows? But
question marks. That's what they are.
And like a lot of people on Reddit were also saying like, oh yeah, just if you want to make seltzer, instead of doing the process I did, just like good water and vodka and just carbonate it. Yeah,
that's
and it's
interesting.
Like, oh, that makes sense actually. You know?
Yeah. I do have a soda stream.
I mean, it's true.
It actually does make a lot of sense to just do it that way, and then, like you said, just add whether it's Mio or some random flavor mixers.
Like I
or
picked
whatever.
up 3 Mios, which actually 2 of them I picked up were clear. They don't have coloring in them.
You could infuse your vodka first,
but then after it dilutes in the water, though, you know.
Oh right, yeah.
Unless you're just straight carbonated vodka. I'm not even sure if you can do that. That'd be interesting. But
it's funny because on the soda streams they tell you don't carbonate anything that it like, or if you're putting any flavoring in, do it after you carbonate. And I found out why. Like if you put like the soda stuff in there and then carbonate it, it just goes kaboom,
really?
Basically. It just kind of explodes because it's so much carbonation that it just kind of, it's almost, it's not like a Mentos and Diet Coke situation, but it's
just
kind of
over carbonates it, huh? Interesting.
Yeah. So you're much better off you carbonate the water and then add your flavoring, basically.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, I got a couple different flavors in the fridge. I bought some limeade too. So I'll just go out there with a glass and just like, oh, what do I want now? How about strawberry watermelon? Squirt. Psh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I like it.
I mean, I guess I guess I could also just carbonate water, honestly.
That's true. Yeah.
Which actually wouldn't be a bad option. Because I kind of like fizzy water.
Yeah, I actually been thinking about that. I really need to go get a CO2 cartridge for my soda stream. Might have to get a battery too, because there's like a small like cell, those little flat round batteries. I think it runs off of like one of those in the top just for the.
I mean, if it's a standard CO2 cartridge you need, like the little silver ones.
No, it's a big tank.
Okay. Are they like? Can you refill them, or are they just like disposable?
You take them. Like Bed Bath & Beyond used to let you exchange them. I think Target does it to where you can, if you take an old one in, you get a discount on a new one, basically. So I just need to do that. I need to make sure Target still does it.
Yeah.
If not, I don't know where to go to do it, and that would really suck, because then the option would be to buy new ones every time.
I would Google it maybe, because if you can refill it, right on a Lexus across from Lowe's and Taco Bell, there's that air gas. They fill CO2 there. Yeah, because I tried going there with my bottle I had originally, and that's when I found out I had to get it tested, blah, blah, blah. But for the foreseeable future, I'm going to fill my tank up there because the one dude is so helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a 5-pound bottle. It only cost me like $14 and change to fill it. So it's really not that much, because everything I read online was like, one 5-pound bottle will dispense 6 to 8 half kegs like I use. That's all.
It looks like you can refill them. That's basically what the company does. It looks like is you trade it in, they send them back to SodaStream. SodaStream checks them, refills them, and then they go back to market.
Might be worth a phone call to those guys. Be like, do you guys refill SodaStream canisters?
Yeah, that's actually not a terrible idea, because to get it, depending on what they charge for it and stuff, because I can't remember. I don't know what they cost now. It used to be if you would trade one in, it was like $15 for the new one. Which is still not bad when you're considering like you're not buying seltzers and different stuff during that time, so it's, you're doing it yourself. So I'll have to, fresh dietary grade CO2. I didn't know there was a difference.
I didn't know that either. Dietary CO2, is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what it says on SodaStream's official whatnot.
Interesting.
So I'll have to, maybe I'll have to give them a call, because if it's less than $15, maybe I'll just go over there and see how it works.
They might, or they just might be like, yeah, no, we don't do that.
Yeah. which is fine, Yeah. Or maybe they sell something ssimilar to where maybe they have their own version.
I mean, I
of
just
that or
pulled
something.
up like where can I refill a SodaStream canister? And there's a YouTube video that's like how to refill your SodaStream CO2 for under $1. So I'm kind of assuming the guy probably buys CO2 and then he maybe pumps it in somehow. I don't know how, but
yeah, I don't either. Interesting. Yeah, because I see the one you're talking about right here. Actually, there's one above it that was like refill SodaStream cylinders by yourself. So for for $1, it's like, but it's not really for $1 if you don't already have the other CO2. You've got to have a canister of CO2.
Yeah, and it's like just from talking to these guys, those new bottles, like if you want to buy a bottle, that's like a $90 investment. You know, granted, once you have it, but I'm just lucky enough that it came with all the shit that Steve and I bought, you know?
Yeah, right. So, interesting. What's it cost to fill those?
For mine, it was like 14 and change.
Okay. See, so in the long run, if you could do this easily yourself, it would be worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's like when I found out how much it was cost me to fill it at and how long it's going to last me, it's like, oh shit, this makes so much sense to do it this way.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I was going to tell you, if you use those little silver ones, I have some for my growler. I could have just hooked you up, but
okay. Yeah. No, unfortunately, they're not those little ones. They're much larger than that. Yeah. Yep. It's all right. All right. We'll figure it out.
Dying.
Shoot. Yeah. So over the weekend, I went and Saturday was my 45th birthday.
How's it feel to be old?
So old. I was telling Henno, like you know how it is. Like age is never really. I never really cared. But this year it hit a little different only because like my oldest sibling turned 60. My closest sibling is turning 50 in a couple months. And, my other siblings, I've got one brother that next year turns 60, one the year after that turns 60. Then my sister is like I think it'll be a year or two after that. She'll hit 60, so it's like, whew, we're all pushing the line here,
isn't it?
a little higher. And and it kind of, I mean, obviously I'm still the youngest one, so I can still brag about that, but it's still, you kind of start looking at like, wow, we're all kind of getting up there a little bit, like it's not something you really want to acknowledge.
It is weird though, isn't it? Because my sister turned 50 this year. Well, maybe I should have said that. Oh well, sorry, Jen.
Yeah.
But she turned 50 this year.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it anyway.
Yeah, and
but
I was just kind of like, ooh, man, that's weird.
Yeah. Right.
You sit down and you think like 50 years. That's a long ass time.
Yeah. Well, especially when you start, something will pop into your head and you remember something from whatever, and you're just like, dude, that was like 40 years ago.
I get that shit all the time with Jurassic Park's 35th anniversary is coming up. It's like, first off, fuck you. Second off, I can't wait to see it again.
I just saw one the other couple days ago, or Sunday. I'm sorry, it was because Guns N' Roses was trending on Twitter.
Who died?
And I was like, oh boy, So I clicked on it, and it was like the 32nd anniversary of the release of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And I was like, oh my God, I was telling Henno, I remember listening to 106.5 like a couple nights before because they played all of both albums. Obviously and I remember they were letting people call in and tell them what they thought of the songs and stuff, and I remember people calling in after You Could Be Mine, and the McCartney version's better, and stuff, and all that kind of thing. And it was just, and I was like, God, that doesn't feel like that long ago, but obviously it was 32 years ago, so it was like, geez.
On a side note, man, both those albums are pretty solid. I remember listening to them back to back a lot.
Yeah.
Those should be,
me too.
if it's the anniversary, wait, it's the 32nd. That's a weird. I'm like sitting there thinking like, I bet you I could get those on vinyl. My vinyl nerdness just kicked in. Vinyl.
Yeah. But I remember people like, bitching on there like, it's not as good as their other stuff. And it was like, dude, they only had like 2 other albums. Like, what, give them a chance to grow as artists, maybe?
They used to be a lot harder, dude.
Yeah. The thing that the craziest thing was that was the first time, when they did the whole play, was hearing Estranged and November Rain. Right. And both being like 900-minute songs,
epics.
And it was, like the dude before he played the song was, like, okay, everyone, this is like an 11-minute song. So we'll see you back in a little bit, after the song, we're going to do a couple commercials. And, I just remember that. It's just like, man, like those are some long ass songs.
It's funny you're talking about like that.
Obviously, that was before I started listening to Tool and knew what a really long song actually was.
It's funny you're talking about this era of our lives, because I was actually just talking about this too. We were talking about like, I think Michelle was like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard this song since blah blah blah." She's like, "I had a 3-disc changer," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember my old boombox." And I was thinking about whenever you or we would buy like a new CD. First, right off the rip, would be like, "Well, I gotta make a copy of this on cassette for Brian."
Yeah,
that's all I was thinking. I was like, God, those days were just so wild. I'd call you up because he couldn't text you. Oh man, I just got the new fucking Megadeth.
Yeah.
Countdown to Extinction is sick, bro.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Make me
like, hell yeah, right? High speed dubbing.
Yep. Oh man, dude, I know. It's like I remember, like my first CD player was that big radio that I had. Like I remember because I won that. Where Pepsi had that contest where you had to spell Shack Attack with each bottle cap had a letter underneath it. And I did that, and then the prize was like a trip to Orlando for a basketball game and different stuff. Like you didn't get to meet Shaq, which I thought was janky, but which is honestly the reason I didn't go, because if you'd got to meet Shaq, I would have went, because that would have been pretty cool, But it was like you get a trip to Orlando and a basketball game, and I forgot what else, like some spending money, and it was like, okay,
like,
I've
been
to Florida. I don't really care about. Yeah, and then it was like, or you can take the money equivalent, which was, I think it was like $1,000 or $1,200, something like that, or $1,500. I don't remember. It was something like that. And I was like, well, for sure do this, because also my parents were like, you'd have to miss like 2 days of school for this, and whatever. They were okay with me going, but they didn't really love the idea of me having to miss school for it, which I kind of agree with. It was like they probably should have picked, but it's hard to, basketball, you can't help it with basketball because they start in October and end in June. So
I think they start in October and end in like October the next year.
Right. Yeah. So, when I got the money, my mom was basically like, you can buy like one kind of, like you can have like a couple $100 to do whatever you want with, but the rest we're going to, kind of put away for now. So you don't just blow through all of it, because I'm a teenager,
100%.
And I was like, well, I really want a boombox. And I went and bought myself a Sony boombox that had the detachable speakers and the double cassette thing, plus the CD drive.
It didn't
and
have an
radio
equalizer on the front too. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, it did.
I remember.
That shit it was like, I think it was like $150 or $160 or something, and did that and bought a couple CDs at the time. I know for sure because I had to have approval on my CDs, so it was Aerosmith's.
Get a grip. You know how many times you listened to that fucking CD?
Yeah, because I only had like 2 CDs. I forgot the other one. I didn't get another one that night. That was the only one I got that night. But yeah, it was for sure. I'll remember that forever. And because that thing just came up missing when I moved. We had it at the house because we were listening to it while we were painting and doing stuff before I moved out, and then it was just gone. And no one knows what happened to it. It does. And the only thing I can think of is that my grandma had what do you call it? A real estate agent, and either they took it, or maybe somehow somebody else took it, or someone thought it was trash along the way and threw it out, but I can't imagine anybody would. And it was big enough you can't. No, I don't think anyone stole it because you couldn't really like sneak it out under your shirt.
Let me just slide this under
my
down my pant leg.
Because I've asked all my siblings, and that's who was there working on the stuff, and none of them, and they would all, if they had to, oh, sorry, I didn't know that was, but it was, they're all like, no, I remember it being there, but I don't know what happened to it. And I was like, yeah, it just went poof and disappeared. Really weird. So, not that I'd probably use it a whole lot anymore anyways, but I mean, I probably could have sold it.
You remember the one I had? It was definitely not as cool as yours, but it had like the super bass button, and I had the double.
Oh my god, I forgot about
bass.
The super bass.
But I had the double disc or double tape deck and the CD player. If I would still use, that would be my garage speaker if I still had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that thing was a workhorse. I wish I still had it.
Yeah. The one I had was great. It worked. It lasted a long time.
It's funny because you look, those old school boom boxes are being brought back in like Bluetooth versions.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
That's why I said if I still had it, I could probably sell it right now. I'm sure I could probably get a few bucks out of it. In fact, I might be able to get a good penny out of it because like Walkmans will sell for like, $100.
You can walk around with it on your shoulder.
You're right. Because it did take like, what was it, like 19 C batteries or something.
Just a ridiculous amount.
You could plug it in. Oh, it had a remote too. Remember?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That shit was cutting edge, bro.
Because remember, I used to sit right next to it and use the remote.
Well, because you had it, you might as well use it.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I remember like popping the back off of it to see how many batteries it took, and it was a lot. It was like, I want to say it was like 8 C or D batteries.
What a weird world.
It's like, God, yeah. That way you could throw it up on your shoulder and take it with you, because the cord disconnected so that you didn't have to take the cord with you if you didn't want to.
The cord doesn't look cool when you're breakdancing.
Oh, no. And it wasn't like some of them where they would have like that little like hook area where you could kind of roll the cord up. Yeah. It didn't have that because that's where the batteries went. Yeah, so it didn't.
You don't have room for a hook when it's got all those batteries.
No. Yeah. That was something though.
Yeah, good times. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of the few like big splurge in air quote electronics I had as a kid, because that was because I had that money, so I was able to buy what I wanted, and I'm like, well, I'm not buying Jink brand. I'm buying Sony.
I need a CD, a boombox, and a prostitute. All right, we can get you two of these things. Fine.
Yeah. Fine. Like, I've never seen a prostitute that had a CD player in her, but hey, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah, those are the days, man.
Oddly enough, her name was Sony.
It's true.
Yeah. Crazy shit. Thinking back
like
to that.
Scrambling to the radio because you've been waiting for the song to play so you could record it. Oh shit!
Well, that's why I said I was glued to 106.5 that night because they were playing all of Use Your Illusion 1 and then playing all of Use Your Illusion 2, like back to back. They were playing the whole thing. It was like,
aren't that cool anymore,
we get to hear new Guns N' Roses.
Radio stations just aren't that cool anymore either. Yeah.
No.
Man, this is some old man rant we're doing. I love it.
No, seriously. Well, that's what, like I said, that's what that stuff reminded me of, seeing that, because it was like, Heno was like, this is what we're doing though, 32-year anniversary. I'm like, I know, right? It's like, it's like, what are we doing?
Number
like
to pick.
30, I can see 35, but
32 is an odd choice.
Yeah. So, but it was kind of cool. And honestly, it also made me go, maybe I should pull those up and listen to them. I haven't listened to them in a while.
I listened to them not that long ago.
Yeah. I've kind of hit that recently again, where I'm like, I realized that I've been listening to more podcasts again, but I'm like, I'm not listening to music like ever anymore. It's like I found out, like, Jeannie went and saw Corey Taylor recently, and she asked me if I wanted to go, and I just didn't have the money. Found out Oxymorons opened for him, and I was like, oh, because I really dig them. And Corey Taylor, it's like, I know Corey Taylor's going to be good, and he's been talking recently. I don't know if you saw, he's been talking. He's only got a few years left.
Oh, really?
Like I guess he's in pain all the time. So he's like, I only got a few years left in me of touring, basically. So yeah, which could mean a lot of various things, like, could, shake up in Slipknot and all that stuff. Right. So, although I know the intention with Slipknot originally was that they were faceless and that they could just replace people, basically.
Yeah.
That the band could go
on
when
their
forever,
drummer died, everyone was really sad.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's the thing is, like, Corey Taylor's not even their original singer. Like there was the other guy, and then Corey Taylor, and then I've heard his kids' band sounds a lot like Slipknot.
Interesting.
Because I guess there's a few of the guys in the band are like kids of guys from Slipknot, basically.
Call them Square Knot.
I haven't listened to any. Yeah,
Top Knot.
Yeah,
Bowline.
Yeah, they all have. No, Top Knot.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay with that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Gore's been doing forever. They just replace for people with other space aliens of death or whatever, Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's quite a few bands that have done that over time, and some obviously where it's like, oh well, the lead singer died or moved on, and they're just like, okay, well, we're just replacing them. And then some are more like, no, the band is, it's a concept. It's like Ghost is like that. It's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to know who the members of the band are, basically, and it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, everybody, we all know when you change guitarists, there's a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't care who it is. It's very rare that you change guitarists and you don't notice a difference. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, this guy sounds. I mean, I read something the other day that like people are accusing Zakk Wylde of using backing tracks at the Pantera concerts.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what truth or whatever there is to that, but I was like, really? Because Zakk Wylde's been. I mean, he's been. He's known as being a pretty prolific guitarist. So it's like, was Dimebag that? Like, it was the way he played so crazy that you need backing tracks too?
Dimebag was a legend. But I actually saw a TikTok someone posted of Zakk Wylde, and it was super young Zakk Wylde playing in front of a fucking strip mall, and he was shredding.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking for like the ones I'm finding are like old ones from like May, but I just saw like some site I was on. It was like a new thing on their site, but yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, people are saying, oh, I see what they're saying. They're saying that it doesn't look like he's really playing at the concerts.
Oh yeah, I pulled up Zakk Wylde accused of using backing tracks on Pantera reunion shows. Oh my God, I haven't seen Phil, like current age Phil, until this picture. He just looks like he should be yelling at some referee at a Little League game. Jesus Christ.
He's for sure
oh my
Dad
God.
Bod Phil now. Yeah,
that
it's so funny because you remember. Yeah. Aren't you the guy from Pantera?
Well, I mean, I hope I hope he's not using backing tracks.
Dude, it's like a 3-2 count. The pitch comes in, the ump yells strike 3, and he just starts yelling walk.
Yes. You and me, ump. Yeah. 5 minutes alone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. You know what the funny part is, though? It's like, there's probably a chance of some band you've seen somewhere not actually playing.
There was these two guys, and they really fucked up on Saturday Night Live.
No, not Mickey Miller. No. Or Ashley Simpson. You remember that one on Saturday Night Live? Where the track started. But it's like a lot of those kind of performances are pre-recorded kind of a thing, It's like, and they're usually done so there's no mess up, but like that situation went sideways for sure.
Blame it on the. Oh no!
It was just a remix. Just a remix,
sure.
That's all. Yeah, it's exactly how it was supposed to be.
Oh man.
Oh, sweet God.
Yeah, I
The
know. It looks like
brightness.
you're about ready to just be immolated over there.
Yeah, I forgot to open
Man, I've been
some
playing
stuff
No
here,
Man's
so
Sky again.
yeah.
That is such a
Yep.
relaxing game to play. Because there's,
Yeah.
if you don't want to deal with combat, you don't have to. Yeah, and
Okay.
I play pure America, as in I fly to other planets and take all their gold and silver and platinum and then fly back to mine and build shit.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, sure. That's
I have to
yeah.
bring them freedoms at the cost of their resources.
That's fair. Everybody gets
It's
something
true.
here.
No, it's
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever played. You know what game I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what game you're talking about, but I
I
have
mean,
not
it's a
played
cool
it.
game, and maybe did we talk about this? I'm having like flashbacks.
You and I talked about it because I forgot what game we were talking about
Okay,
Cyberpunk and how they're about to
right,
redo
right,
the whole
right.
game. You were like, No Man's Sky did that. We were talking about it on the
That's
way to
right.
your
Yeah,
house, but
all the updates they have
yeah.
going on, and I don't know. It's just a fun. I don't know if fun's the right word. It's like Space Minecraft. It's just a chill
Okay.
game. That's all I'm trying to say. Unless you're
Yeah.
huddled under the crust of a planet, escaping a radiation storm because you have enough fuel to get off the planet, and you can't go mine the shit because you'll die. So that's not relaxing. But
I don't
once
know. It
the
seems like it
storm's
would be.
over, Brian, it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Anywho,
Fair
I
enough.
just wanted to talk about that for
That's
no reason in particular.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I haven't. That's something. That's the other thing. Like I was talking about how I haven't really been listening to music. Is I've really gotten to where I've been barely playing any games either, and it's like I don't know. What sucks is this is my crazy life moment for the week, sponsored by
Ooh.
Crazy Life podcast. Um, but it, I, depression robs you of your
Mm-hmm.
joy, right? Like you realize that you stopped doing things you previously really enjoyed. And it's scary when something like this kind of clicks in my head because it's like, oh, now I'm not playing games, I'm not listening to music, I'm not, you know what I mean? It's like this is it's like the circle of joy in your life is like shrinking
Okay.
basically. That's no bueno, so I got to I think I need to basically force myself to as weird as this sounds, force myself to play some video games and listen to some
It sounds
music and
terrible.
you know, yeah, but it's like I need to schedule time for it
I
basically.
mean, it's funny you
You
say that because I've told her upstairs before because she'll be like, I mean, it's not as much recently because she's dealing with a lot of health stuff, so she's been kind of like laying off on
yeah.
doing a lot of the work she was doing. But before she
Yeah,
was
right.
basically working as soon as she woke up to it was time to go to bed, and then we'd be in bed bullshit, and she'd be like, "Man, I just really like all I want to do is play some video games today." It's like, well, make time for it then. And she
Yeah,
would do
right.
that, and weird, you got pleasure
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah. It's weird to feel like you need to make time for something that's enjoyable. And I know part of it is that I fought for a long time is since I don't work and blah blah blah. It's like it's almost like in my head, it's like you haven't earned that.
Mm.
It's like goes to that mentality of like, when we were kids and be like, oh, I'm too sick to go to school, and you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna sit here and play with a toy, and your parents are like, nah, 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 too sick to go to school, you're too sick to have
Yeah,
fun,
exactly.
basically.
Little did I know,
So it's
nothing's more
kind of
fun than The Price is Right.
that's right. I'm gonna sit here and eat my chicken soup and watch your stories
Exactly.
with
Yeah, I'm
you.
gonna take
Ha!
NyQuil and fall asleep and enjoy my life.
Yep. So it's kind of in that vein a little bit of like almost like, oh, you haven't done enough to earn the fun. And it's not just with depression. It's like I know a lot of people are that way to where you feel like you don't deserve to have fun because you haven't worked hard enough for it. Or it's like how many people you hear like, I earned this beer or I earned this, and you're like, you just
That's
deserve
that's
things
such
you
a
enjoy.
fucking backwards American mentality, but you're 100% right.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Like you got to earn
Yeah,
your weekend.
exactly.
Fuck you. You know. you know. So that's why I said it's in that, but it's a more exaggerated version kind of a thing, because your brain really is telling you you don't deserve it because you haven't done anything kind of a thing. So it's I didn't realize that my brain was kind of doing it to me again. It's one of the things that really can suck about depression is that your brain lies to you all the time, and sometimes you don't even realize it's doing it until you're way in it, and then you're like, oh, now I got to slog my way out.
I fell for it again. Damn you, brain.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, dang it, I knew I shouldn't have taken that free candy.
Now your brain telling you not to play video games. It's just your brain fucking with you. Fuck your brain.
It is. That's right. So yeah, I've got to figure out some way to straighten that back out. So especially because it's like there's tons of games I want to play, and as you well know, there's tons of games I own that I've never
there's
played.
A whole streaming channel.
What am I doing?
Waiting.
It's like, what am I doing here? So yeah, and same with music. Like I said, there's all I don't listen to stuff like anymore like I used to, and I know that's a lot of people do that as they get older. Anyways, you kind of get stuck in your whatever you was popular when you were a teenager is pretty much where you tend to end up. But I enjoy listening to new music and finding new stuff. Just like I always have.
I mean, maybe with the video game thing, what you need to do is once you're like back in your comfort spot there, right? Because I know you got your comfort games. You do your GTA, you play your sports games,
sure, man,
whatever.
Yeah, right.
But maybe like once a month, you got to be like, all right, I'm going to play a game I've never played before, just to make myself a little uncomfortable here, and see what's up.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I really do get anxiety about starting a new game, and it's almost this goes to in my perfectionism issues, in that it's like if I don't feel like I can beat it, a lot of times my brain will kind of be like, well, why bother? Like, it's going to be too hard. That's what it's like. Think about it this way. Like, I asked Garrett about Starfield because I wanted to know how much actual flying you have to do in the game, because as anyone who knows me knows, that's definitely
true.
Not a strong
Don't play
point
No Man's
Sky. Right. So he gave me a pretty good report on it, and it doesn't sound like it's my gig, unfortunately, because it looks pretty cool, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be for me, which is fine, And I've tried stuff like Elden Ring, not for me. It's not my kind of game, it's an awesome game. It's just not for me, right? So because it just pushes my anxiety too much.
That's a tense game, but the cool thing about that game is you're supposed to die.
Yes, I get that.
Kind of refreshing.
Yeah, it is. But that it's like you're not alone if you die.
Yeah, because it's just part of it.
Right. But the anxiety and build up to the stuff, it's like it's just too much for me, and unfortunately, I'm not in a place where I can really handle that well. So, it's right out basically. I played it a little bit. Yeah, Chicken Police is a game I think is right up my alley though. But yeah, anyway, so it's I found that's why I remember a long time ago when I was pushing myself to try to beat GTA, and I stalled on that. It's like, so I need to do that again and be like, okay, this is a comfort game, but and especially with how they have the hey, if you screw up multiple times you can just skip it, so it's like I don't have to sit there and try 100 times if I don't want to. Like there's been a couple missions where I'm like, no, I'm going to beat this because I'm like real close a couple times. It's like, okay, I can beat this, so I'm going to, but if it's a plain one, it's a whole different story. No, it's not. I mean, I've done some of the flying ones in that, but I'm so not good at it. I've crashed so many times. Even in the last one, there was one where you had to take a helicopter and go get a guy and bring him to like the club, I think it was, and you had to land like in the street. As I went to land, I hit the rotor on a building, and I ended up like crashing right in front of the club.
So delivery
I did
successful.
That 3 times. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, the helicopter didn't blow up. He should be able to
Yeah,
get
he
out
might be a little
fine.
shook, but he's there.
Yeah. Like, hey, I didn't say I was any good at flying a helicopter. I got you here though. Like, it's not my fault you told me to take a helicopter. I could have got there in a car and back, no
Right,
problem.
exactly, right?
That's on you, not
Like,
me.
I can make you a souffle for dinner. It's not going to be good, but I can make it.
Right. I can make it. Exactly. You probably won't die from it. Probably, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's all that kind of stuff, and it sucks, right? Because you think of and me telling you this is I figure you, because you can really see it, because I mean, we used to do nothing but sit and play video games for
100%. Yeah, for sure.
Across a weekend. That would literally that would be our whole weekend, is we go rent like 10 games and play games all weekend.
It looked like we just like came out of an underground cave. We're all pale and squinty. Yeah, like exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm just here for sustenance, as we dive into the pizza rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go. Food sponsor. Totino's for life.
Oh, for sure. Pizza rolls is.
Yeah, for sure.
My precious.
I need a
Ow, my tongue. My tongue.
I need a pan full of precious.
Yeah, so it's weird, because it's not that I've lost interest in games. It's just that my brain has put these freaking barriers that are so hard for me to overcome, and I wish I could overcome them. I mean, it's like it's ruined art for me. It's it's taking music and video games, and it's like these are things that I get great joy from, and yet my brain's like, nah, don't do
That'd
that.
Be crazy if you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, what'd be even better? Don't do anything. That's the real move.
That's what you've earned. Like, thanks, brain, right? Piece of shit.
You've earned sitting in a chair.
Like, can I grab the Switch? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
All right, I guess.
Okay. All right. I guess. Thanks. So yeah, I think you're right though. I think that really is a good move, is like I did with GTA, to where I'm like, I'm gonna force myself to not just do the daily shit, but it's like I'm gonna try to do like a mission, or I'm gonna try to do progress it somehow,
or even just go into single player mode and just fuck around in the city, like some of the weird side shit you can get into,
Yeah, which I do a lot of times when I jump on. I'll do the dailies, and a lot of times, like, I don't know if you know, it's like there's like if there's a red blip that shows up, it's usually like somebody will have robbed somebody or a store or something. And you can, if you stop them, you get the money, and then you can either just keep it or you can go return it, type of thing. And, if I see one of those, I'm usually like, and I'll just run the person down with my car. As is
tradition.
And as it's tradition, yeah. So it's like I never try to like beat them up or anything. I just I do that, or I just shoot them in the face, basically.
The car beats them up. You don't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I try to think outside the box when I can when I play these games, like that old one in GTA 3 where I just rammed that truck into the guys you're supposed to go beat up.
Like I said, the car beat them up. It's perfect.
Yeah, car beat them up. I just get out, stomp. Okay, cool. Mission complete.
That's why those kind of games are fun like that.
Yeah, but there's so many that I've, and then with the free games from PlayStation and stuff, there's so many of those that I'm like, oh, this looks fun, or I really wanted to try that, or whatever. So yeah, it's, or even like Borderlands, it's like we need to figure out some time to play some Borderlands 3, get that going,
We should play
so that. Especially, dude, over this last week they've been giving out keys like fools. Like, I follow a subreddit for just keys, basically, and holy shit, they've been, because it's like the anniversary of Borderlands 2, I think.
Okay. It's funny you mention that, because when you and I tried playing Borderlands the first time, I had a hard time because all the fonts and shit were small, and I've got a billboard in my living room now.
Yeah, it's like playing in Times Square.
I mean, that was one of the hard times I had playing that game. Was like everything was so tiny. It's like, that's why Michelle stopped playing Death Stranding, because all the fonts were so tiny. Yeah. She was like,
well, now
I can sit out in my out in the street and play.
I think you could come over here and play.
Yeah, it's perfect, actually.
You know what I want to do with your TV is play something that has split
Oh, that would
screen.
be good, actually.
Because I imagine like the size your TV is, it probably still would be cool. Like mine playing split screen, but yeah, not that there's a lot of couch
Earth
co-ops
Defense
anymore.
Force.
But
You want to fight the bugs? Yeah, baby.
Yep. Yeah. Borderlands is one that's a couch co-op, I believe. But yeah, but it's more fun to just play on your own screen.
True, but there is something amazing about couch co-op. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
I am Brian. I am spying the time we're at.
Oh yeah,
I just looked over and I was like, boy, we're getting close to 0 hour.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, I have one thing to talk about before we get to that, and this will be really quick. Which is, did you see Concerned Ape, the guy who does the Stardew Valley? Yeah, Concerned Ape. He announced that coming in spring of 2024, there's going to be a Stardew Valley cookbook.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Remember we talked a few weeks ago about, I forgot what game it was, some other game doing a cookbook or something. And, we talked because we were like, oh my God, there's all these cookbooks from games and stuff.
Oh, so, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Oops, wrong click. The official Stardew Valley cookbook.
Yeah, I got to find the link for it because I just have his tweet saved.
I just have it. I pulled up a pre-order on Amazon.
Okay.
It's going to be released May 14th next year.
Awesome.
You can currently get 10% off, Brian, if you go to Amazon right now.
Ooh.
Now, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people dig that because, as popular as that game is and all that kind of stuff. And, oh, my God, this is bright. I need to not be on this screen. Jesus.
Not that this one's much better. There's just released the official Catan cookbook. Really?
Catan? Like the board game?
Yes. I'm clicking now.
Okay.
Oh, it's 5 stars, baby.
Oh, all right. I don't understand how it. I don't understand.
I don't understand. Cook, eat, play. Overnight oats.
Boo.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about this, Brian.
Yeah, that's one where I feel like it doesn't really.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty big stretch here.
Right, because you don't really cook in Catan.
Oh, customizable hex cookies is a recipe.
Okay, that maybe.
Oh, it's a nightcap hot toddy. So here's my thoughts on this.
Ooh.
That they're just like, okay, what's some funny puns we can do?
Yeah. Now I will say this: if you made cookies shaped like the board, because they do have where you can print out. Things. So like that could be kind of fun. I could see that for somebody if you were doing a Catan themed birthday or something.
Yeah, that would be actually kind of cool.
But aside from that,
if you're like, hey, we're having a Catan party. I'm making some like one of them was like roast rack of lamb because there's sheep in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like okay.
What does this have to do with Catan? There's sheep.
Yeah, like maybe pick a game where there's actually cooking in it.
Yeah, like Stardew
Valley.
Yeah.
Perfect example. All right. Well, I guess, let's move on to Q of the W, I guess.
Q of the W. Last week, we asked y'all, customer service workers, what's something minor that customers do that irritates you to no end? Instagram not answering. That's what irritates me.
Awesome.
Got nothing there. We only got a couple on Facebook, too, which is kind of weird.
Did people not work retail, or?
Maybe, I don't know. Diamond Top fan Jeff from Hobie, he says, when they threaten to contact the news or the Better Business Bureau, if you don't help them with their complaint before they actually tell you the issues and give you a chance to fix the problem. Let's get defensive before anyone can address your complaint. Or when they threaten to burn down the store because they can't locate the receipt required for a return. Wow. Sounds like he's been dealing with some of the stuff with experience.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty hard.
And then probably my favorite answer. Diamond Top fan Big Dev, love the man. Thinking that you are always right. The fuck you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, accurate.
Agree. Yeah.
All right, that's all. Those are the only two I got over here, bro.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I got to pull up Cheeto's answer on my phone.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Where is it? Oh my, yeah,
Told
you
you,
weren't
it looked
kidding.
intense.
Yep. By the way, nice unacceptable gift
Thank
usage
you.
there. I appreciate
Thank you.
Adventure time. So Cheeto's answer are coming in before we open, even if it's 15 minutes, and expecting us to start your food order. Just because we're a small family-run restaurant doesn't mean we're open and ready to serve you because the door is unlocked.
That's fair.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of at the video store how on like Tuesdays there'd be people like lined up outside when when you get there like an hour before
wrenching
open,
on the door and shit.
and they're like, can I come in? I'm like, we don't open for an hour. Well, you can't just let us in. Like, no, just because I'm here, it's like I have shit to do before we open. Like, like not at all. Like you can just sit out there and wait. In fact, I'm and then the worst ones were the ones that when it got to where their watch said 10 o'clock and they're knocking on the door like and pointing to their watch, and it's like, hey, my clock in here says 9:58. So tough nuggets.
The clock on the wall says 3 o'clock. Last call for alcohol. That's what you need.
So his other one was walking in, standing in front of the please wait to be seated sign. And after standing for 10 seconds, look into the kitchen and say, do we just seat ourselves? No, you don't. The sign says, please wait to be seated. Calm your tits, Joe customer. We'll get to you. Yeah.
Basically what we're saying is people suck.
Right. Just quit being so impatient. Right. Like it's understandable if you've been standing there for like, a while, but just standing there for, a couple seconds. It's like, my brother and I went to Chipotle the other night and we get up in the line and there's this girl doing stuff, like she was replacing things on the line, and we're just standing there. And I'm like, is she not gonna help us? Like, what's what's going on
I'm sure
here?
she's filling the line going, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
There was a guy working the grill and he turns around and he's like, oh, I'll be right with you. And in my head, I'm going, I feel like if you're working the grill, you should probably focus on working the grill. The one refilling things, I feel like, is the one that should probably help us. Because if she runs out of something, she could then go run and get another one real quick or whatever, But whatever, it's like, okay. We just stood there and we just kind of looked at each other like, this is a little weird, But, it was like, it was a couple minutes, and then because he was like flipping the chicken. So basically it was like once he was done flipping the chicken, then he turned around and helped us. It was fine, but it was just like,
seemed weird, huh?
Yeah, but you could. That's one of those opportunities where you could be a real asshole, or you could just be patient,
right?
And naturally, I started throwing.
Oh,
things
well, of
at
course, like you do.
Yeah. So yeah, it was cool. I actually had one of those prepaid gift cards, and the one that I had, I hate how some of these are because some of them are like. If you have $8 on there, whatever you buy has to be under that. Like you can't use that towards like a $10 purchase.
Really?
Yes. And it's really stupid. Like they won't, if you run it, it won't accept them.
It should be, just, okay, hey, you have this much left to pay for. Or
so I had like $8.20 on this thing. And every time I'm thinking about using it, of course, everything's like, $8.50
of course,
or something.
$8.02.
Right? Yeah. And I was like, damn it. So, I get through the line at Chipotle and I had a buy one, get one thing. So I was getting, letting my brother get the other one. And I get up there and the girl's like, oh, $7.99 or whatever. I'm like, ooh.
Like, hell yeah. Now you got to spend a penny somewhere, Brian.
Yeah, it's like this has been in my wallet forever. And I was like, oh, thank God I can finally kind of kill this thing off. At last,
the chosen order.
Right. I mean, free food, basically. Right. So, What was cool too is like with the reward stuff I got from that purchase, I earned a free entree there too. So I was like, oh, yeah, that works out.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bonus. Although they didn't give me anything for my birthday, so they're jerks. So
they are.
They used to give you like free queso or something like that on your birthday, like queso and chips, basically.
What a bunch of shitheads!
Oh, I didn't get anything
Not even
this year.
guac. I know you don't like guac, but not even
Nothing.
guac.
Nope.
Man.
Nope. Actually, the last year it was guac, but when I got up there, I was like, "Can I get queso instead?" Because I think it was the same price basically. And the manager was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Like, bro, I'm
like,
allergic to guac. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I like it, but I don't want all guac. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So Heno sent a thing to me that he suggested for a Q of the W.
All right, let's do it.
We're gonna use that one this week. It's what is something every junk drawer must have in order to be considered a proper junk drawer?
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Is this a single item or is this multiples we can do?
I mean, at least one thing, because there's probably something that's in every junk drawer, I would assume.
I mean, I'm going to give you 3 right off the rip because every place I've ever lived has had these in a junk drawer. Pair of scissors. Okay. Usually pens and shit. Loose batteries.
Yeah, the batteries is very good. Because you're right. I was just thinking about, because I was trying to think, we don't really have a junk drawer necessarily here, but the closest thing to it does have loose batteries.
Loose batteries. Yeah.
So loose batteries is a really, really good answer. Because I was trying to think in the past what we've had in our junk drawer, and it's like there's usually like bread ties, like you said, loose batteries. Usually some random tool, like maybe a screwdriver or a pair of pliers or something like there's just like it's an extra pair, or like you said, scissors.
I've got a screwdriver in a Ziploc bag in my junk drawer. That's it's got like a bunch of different bits that you can swap out.
Yeah,
that's like the in the house screwdriver.
Right. Yep, exactly. That's usually what it is. It's like it's the in the house screwdriver, right? Exactly, not the one out in the toolbox or something.
Not the proper screwdriver.
Right. Some sort of tape, probably like duct tape or
Scotch
something
tape
like that,
or something.
Scotch tape,
maybe,
some
probably
sort of
some
tape.
Post-it notes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Light bulb. I think we got a light bulb in ours.
Not
like a fixture one, but like one for the oven, like an appliance bulb.
Yeah. Yep. Probably there's one I just saw here that actually it reminds me of the one that would have been true for any place I've lived, pretty much, which is like a key that you don't know what it belongs to.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, because it's like I don't want to throw it away because I'm not sure what it's due.
It's my favorite thing to have in a junk drawer, Brian. The thing that is super long and awkward and inevitably tilts itself up so you can't open the junk drawer.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yep. Like, why do I even keep this in here? It doesn't fit.
Exactly. Then you're,
it's like, dunk,
damn it, I can't open the drawer.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, that's a great one. I'm looking at what people commented because this is from an Instagram thing. One person says phone charger that nobody has the phone for anymore.
Yeah, that's fair.
Birthday candles only used once. That's a great one. Random screws, super glue that won't open.
You know what I would almost really love is if people, especially on Facebook that were answering this, sent in pictures of their junk drawer. I would love to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Your 4th grade wooden ruler. Arcade tokens from a place in the mall that no longer exists. I like that one. Oh man,
gotta love a junk drawer.
Yeah. All right, I don't need to read this anymore. Yeah, it was just kind of fun reading those comments. But whoa, why isn't it scrolling anymore? There we go. All right. So, all right, there you go. Question again is, what is something every junk drawer must have in order to be considered a proper junk drawer?
Show us what you got with pictures. Seriously, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said it's like where I live now, we don't really have a junk drawer. Like we've got this one container thing that's got like multiple drawers in it, and each one kind of is its own thing. So it's not like one junk drawer, but if you took this whole thing, it's kind of like a drunk cabinet.
You say a drunk cabinet?
basically.
I got that right over here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
fun. That's
stuff.
a good one. I like that one. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, there you go. Stick around for the insult coming up here in a little bit. And until then, head over to saltylanguage.com. You can find the links to the stuff we talked about in the show notes. Although I don't really think there's many links, so there'll be like one or two.
Enjoy them.
Yeah. But, go check them out anyways. You can find the link to our the network that we're part of, which is the Tangent Bound Network, and can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. So please go check out the other shows there, or if you're looking for a network for your show, come join us. And and if you happen to do that and you talk to Mark, I don't know, ask him what's in his junk drawer.
Exactly.
Wink.
We got some junk in our drawers for you.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yep. Also, real quick, I don't know if you saw it. Did you see that Stephanie posted that it looks like they might be rebooting Shot of History?
I did not. Interesting.
Yeah. It looks like her and Dev have had some conversations, so hopefully that goes off.
That is interesting.
Because I missed that show, so I'd be happy to see him come back. So, not that has anything to do with any of this other stuff, but it just popped in my head. So, yeah. All right. If you want to reach out to us on the socials, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on most platforms at Stu.
You can find me on Instagram at The Monotony. And I guess you can find me on TikTok at Salty Language because I take care of that account. Salty Language Pod, if you like YouTube or you like us, give us a like, subscribe. If you want to see the stuff we're talking about, it'll be on the video. Patreon.com/Salty Language for your bonus content. All the Beers Pod, which I'm hopefully going to put together a video of this seltzer thing I made. We'll see about that because it's like we were saying earlier, Brian. Sometimes it just feels like work, and I don't actually get paid for it, so I don't care that much. So,
right, yeah.
So exactly. If it gets skeller, great. If it doesn't, whatever. I talked about it. Brian, you also have a side gig that you don't get paid for.
Yeah, it's the Crazy Life podcast, and it's me, Jen, and Henno talking about mental health, mental illness, mental wellness, recovery, addiction, all sorts of things in that, depression, anxiety, blah, 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 So if you're into that kind of stuff, the last Henno and I just recorded an episode Sunday about lowering your expectations for happiness. And it's more about ways to not be like a perfectionist or whatever. Not that you're, not that you should settle kind of a thing, but if sometimes in life, if you just keep shooting too high, the pressure that it creates on you is just, it's not worth it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm dealing with that right now in my new gig. Cause I'm in charge of, not in charge, but I'm in quality now. So I'm looking at all the imperfections and I'm like, well, what's passable? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you can't, perfection. We talk about this a lot on that show, is like perfection is not, it's just something you chase. It's rarely ever achieved, so, so it's like just adjust the bar a little bit sometimes in life. And, it's similar, like, therapists will tell you if you're doing a to-do list, don't put 100 things on there, put a few things that are achievable so that you actually achieve them. Because then you still get that dopamine hit from achieving something, and it'll kind of give you momentum to keep going, basically. So, yeah, it was a good talk though. So yeah, we talk about that, and Henno talks about changing his the way he's looking at playing music and stuff like that. So it was a good talk.
I'm low key. I miss Henno. Been a while.
Yeah. No. There you go. That's I feel like there was something else I was going to say. Anyway, guess we'll move into the insult because I can't remember what it is. So the insult for this week is bagpipe.
Well, because people can go off and blow or something.
I mean, a little bit. It's oral sex,
Oh.
apparently, is what it
Hey, baby, you want to come play my bagpipe?
was. Yeah,
I guess, right?
right? Like, yep. So,
That's an interesting one.
yeah, it's definitely not one I would have. Not
The
one I've heard
old
before.
bagpipe. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Let's be honest.
It does, right? Yeah, it does. Like as soon as you hear the definition, you're like, oh yeah, that.
Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
we get it.
because yeah.
You know, it's funny, Brian.
It looked like from the way it froze, it looked like you fell asleep.
It's like, I was like, we got to the very end of the show and now Skype's fucking up.
Sure, that makes sense. So, all right. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the show. And yeah, until next week, have a beer. You'll be fine.
Go play a bagpipe.